Okay, now here I am doing, once again, one of the hardest things I've ever done, possibly in my life. As you can see, there is a bunch of line segments here. I've been using this ruler to help create a Cartesian plane that is dense enough to be done in 120 notation. Now I have a very, very big piece of paper here because obviously you're going to need a very big piece of paper, to get this done. That multiplication chart I was working on before, that was a 60 by 60. I actually got a lot of that done, and so that I've been working on, and here's how that turned out. It says part 1 of 120 by 120. Not gonna worry about 120 by 120 right now. Just like I'm also using sort of a 60 by 60 here on the Cartesian plane to sort of start out my plane that I'm making. I actually had to make my own measurement. Let me see if I can find it here. It comes in handy quite often. Here it is, my own measurement, and I have now this is not the same thing as what duodecimal division, the numbers that he uses, right, and I got his Cartesian plane here, where he shows the difference between base 10 and base 12, using the Cartesian planes. I'm basically working on a base 120 version of that, and duodecimal division, he explains how each one of the numbers were made using a certain graph, and it sort of shows all the the square roots and everything in it. This is a little bit abstract, but this is just something I found, and I do realize that 15 on this number system does look a lot like the L is supposed to. I do understand that, right? But I got 60 symbols here. They are all 100% abstract at the moment. And, at some point I might consider using the Cartesian plane and making numbers based off of the roots and stuff, just like the original base 12 was. But this is basically what I got going on here. And what you're looking at is, you're basically looking at 7.5 inches is what this measurement is based off of. Because each one of them is a fourth, I believe it's a fourth of an inch, no, an eighth of an inch. The reason why this is so important is because 8 times 15 equals 120. I use 15 because this fits in with the ruler system really good. So 15 inches, and there's 8 of them. That's 120. Half of it would obviously, if you've been paying attention, would be 7.5 inches. So I got that written here, and I'm going to use 2 of these measurements to create the Cartesian plane. I've been working on the Cartesian plane right here. Now, you might notice that, some things do look like they could be more perfect than they are. Well, it is base 120. It is a highly, demandable base, and it's very difficult to get 100% accurate. But nonetheless, I do think this is worth doing. And it will end up coming out pretty spectacular, I think, actually. I'll probably get a pretty nice system out of this. I'm still thinking about, should I still do a duodecagon, or should I do something even more crazy like a centovagentagon or something, right? You get what I'm saying. That would be a polygon with 120 sides on it. That would actually be quite cumbersome, and I don't know if I'm going to do that. I mean, I could probably do both, actually, if I wanted to. But yeah, I'm still thinking about that one. Basically, it would have the, it would be 10 times more, than a duodecagon. And so, the shape would end up, looking a lot more like a circle, a lot more like what you would see in 360 degrees. And I got no problem with that, but I like to show the 12s in there too, because there's, this flower of life where you draw a circle, and then you draw circles outside of those circles, and this is where the pattern of the numbers and whatnot come from that I could probably use to create my own numbers with. So, I got some stuff going on. And this is not, my number system. This is somebody else's version of a base 120 number system. But the reason I've been using this is because, these numbers are going to get very, very small. And I need something where, even if it's not that intuitive and it's kind of random, I can just sort of put the numeral there, right? And that's kind of what I'm using here. 15 don't look like L. 14 does. 14, 14 pounds is a stone, I think, in England. So that's a stone, and you got all these numbers, but you want to make sure you don't mistake them for base 12 or something like that. And that's what I've been working on. This is going to be quite difficult.